All right, everybody, we are counting down the days to the third Saturday in October. That only means one thing for Alabama fans, at least this year. It's Tennessee Hate Week as the Volunteers are coming to town on Saturday at 2:30 kickoff at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Mike McCoy, Simone Eli joining you to break down everything from the Arkansas win last week and then look ahead, of course, to Tennessee on Saturday. Let's go head to head. Welcome in, everybody. Want to thank our sponsor, the Alabama Cattlemen's Association. Mike McCoy joining us from Maximum Performance Institute in Bessemer. Mike, is your cigar ready for Saturday, or are you not getting this premature?
Of course. I'm always ready. We're going to edit that. We're going to light it up.
I love it.
I'm nervous, though.
I feel that.
Because I had it ready last year prematurely, and,
Man, we'll talk about that. It was brought up, of course, in the press conference with players and head coach Nick Saban this week as Alabama and fans, everyone associated with the program, wants to turn the page on that loss last year in Knoxville. Luckily, they'll be in the friendly confines of Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday. That's where they were last weekend, Mike, for the win over Arkansas. But, man, a part of me feels like I was holding my breath down the stretch and that the Razorbacks just kind of ran out of time, if you think about it.
Man, KJ Jefferson is special. I don't think he gets enough credit, and they lose. Their record does not reflect the actual games of the outcome. And we knew that kind of going into it. You and I did. But it's a slugfest. I do think they ran out of time. If it was another quarter or even another 8 minutes up on that clock, I think we would be scratching our heads this morning.
I would not disagree with that. Alabama defense looked really good in the first half, really just locked down. I think only giving up a couple of field goals. But then the Razorbacks figured out something late, scored twice on back-to-back possessions to make it a 3-point game. And it just felt like, okay, what is going to happen here down the stretch when you look at this game, the totality of it, offensively, defensively, and really it just felt like Bama was holding their breath trying to get out of there with a win.
I definitely think they were holding their breath. The good thing about this season is Bama has yet to play a complete game. That is a scary thing, but I feel like they lack discipline at times. I think they lacked a lot of energy at times. So, we got to kind of find that even keel of what works for them. I think they're almost there where they have an identity as a team. You can tell they play together. But we have yet to play a complete game, and I definitely think they had their fingers crossed to get out with that win.
That's a really, really great point. To think that you haven't played a complete game and you're sitting at 6-1 is a lot better than not playing a complete game and being 500. Like you said, it's kind of a scary thought because Bama has been really, really good in moments on both sides of the ball.
Yes, they have not. We put together, it's almost like they flip-flop. If offense is playing well, defense is not playing as well. If defense is playing well, offense is a little shaky, or we throwing that unseasoned chicken plays. But I think this week they are going to, not to jump forward, they're going to have to put all the pieces together because the Tennessee team that I saw this past weekend, I was actually fortunate enough to go to the game. They are kind of in the same mix as Alabama. They have not played a complete game yet. So this is going to be a slugfest, I think.
Well, let's jump right in. Let's talk about Tennessee. This is a team that averages the most rushing yards per game in the SEC with over 230. They got two guys back there that play really, really well. They have a quarterback that's impressive. What did you see in Knoxville this past weekend?
Man, their quarterback he has an arm. Everybody knows the boy can throw from here to New York. He has a cannon on him. But what was surprising to me is, can you contain him? He can run. I mean, when you see him in person, he's about 6'4". I mean, the man looked like God said, hey, man, I'm going to give you all these tools. It was exciting to see. They do a good job spreading. They make you play 53 yards. They take the receivers out wide, and they make you play defense. So you have to bring another defender in. So if we're going to beat this team, we're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback.
How challenging is it when a team can spread you out like that and to have talent not only on the outside, but of course in the backfield as well from a defensive standpoint? How difficult is that to prepare for and then to go out and to execute the way that you want to?
It's definitely hard because you don't have guys that are his size, that are his size and can throw and run, I mean, that's hard to duplicate. You can put your best athletes in there, but Bama is going to have to stick to the call script. Whatever they call, they must be disciplined enough to make sure that they have their responsibilities under control. Because if you get caught with your pants down, with same thing's gonna happen like last year, right over the middle. They ate up the seam.
Yeah.
And I pray we don't get one-on-one with those receivers at Tennessee, because they have a good three.
When you think about this rivalry, how much is it in the back of your mind what happened the year before? For these Alabama players, walking off that field in Knoxville, knowing that you were just taken down in a top 5 matchup in the way that you were last-second field goal, how much is that still lingering and the thought of wanting to get a little bit of revenge?
If Coach Saban is doing what we used to do, I hope the strength coach is doing it, because Cochran used to walk around and plaster that sugar honey iced tea to the wall. Whenever we got a loss, he wanted you to remember.
Yep.
And it was a bittersweet, and there's nothing better than conquering that defeat from last year. So I honestly think Coach Saban, he can talk nice all he wants to.
Yeah.
But it's boxer talk. Hey, I'm gonna talk you up, but I'm finna knock you out. So I'm thinking Coach Saban finna come out swinging.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Coach was kind of playing nice early on, but we have seen the tide turn when it comes to his mentality a little bit. He's going back to his old ways and lighting fires under guys for sure. Jalen Milroe has continued to impress me in his press conferences every single week. This week he was asked about, is there a revenge feeling? And he said, of course, it's in the back of your mind, but we're looking to fix what we need to fix going into this week to week, and focus on ourselves. One of the biggest things for this offense right now is at the offensive line, giving up 5 sacks, not protecting the quarterback the way they need to. There's timing issues, snap problems. Where do you see this getting better? How does it get better? And it feels like it needs to happen sooner rather than later.
My question is, I wonder how much live work live action are they getting? Are they doing enough one-on-ones? Because there's too many errors. It's easy to look good against a scout team. They're giving you a look. We're working on something. But we got to get this under control. There's too many mental errors, too many lapses. And Coach Saban is a 2 my bad guy. You get 1 my bad, the second one, hey, next. So I'm thinking the O-line, he does not trust whoever the backup is, or somebody got him by the, because this is not the O-line that we are accustomed to seeing. I mean, come on, man. We know you got a middle linebacker throwing the football, but I mean, at least protect him.
Well, the thing is, that middle linebacker can throw it really well when he is protected and throw it far and throw it well, but he's got to have the time.
I don't know. I'm not sure. My question is to all these recruiters, where are we getting these sources? Who's going out? I mean, and no shade to the kids. I'm not talking about
I get that. I get you.
It's got to get to a point where we're accountable. It's accountable. It's accountability. And I'm not sure we're babying these guys. The fact that we're talking about anxiety and emotion, man, I don't want to hear that, man.
Yeah.
You put on the
Definitely a different time, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's a different time, that's for sure. But 2 weeks ago, you talked about the crowd noise at Texas A&M being an issue, but then we saw some similar problems creep up in the friendly confines of Bryant-Denny Stadium. That's where they will be again on Saturday. You hope to see things get tuned up, get fixed up, because Tennessee can get after the quarterback when they want to.
Man, Tennessee, their defense played well. Their secondary is a little shaky. I definitely think that I would take our receivers any day over their secondary. So if we put Milroe in and give him some time and allow him to make the reads, it would be a no-brainer. It may be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shootout, because they have a dynamic offense and as well as we do. But I will put our receivers any day over their secondary.
On that note, let's talk about what the prediction could be like, what things could look like on Saturday, come about 6 o'clock in Tuscaloosa. Will it be a shootout? I have 28-21 Bama. I do think this is going to go down to the wire a little bit like it did last week. I don't think that it will feel like such a hold your breath, cross your fingers and wait type deal, but I do think this is going to be blow for blow, each team putting up scores like we saw last year, but Alabama coming out on top.
I got Bama 34. Tennessee 28.
Okay. So you also think a potential high-scoring affair, lots of points on the board.
Hey, I hope so. I like to see shootouts.
I know you're an offensive guy, so of course you do. Yeah.
I'm ready to see it. So, I'm gonna wait to buy my cigar. I'm not gonna do it because I bought it early. I had it. You had your little layout. You got your little drink with you. You in a good mood, and you just really.
You're holding that cigar and you ain't getting that lighter. We will see. Players were asked this week if they start to smell the cigar smoke during the game. Do you have any memories of that? If the game was out of hand, that you started to smell the cigar smoke early?
Well, when we played, it was always a nail biter. So you smelled the smoke when you saw 0-0 when that clock was winding on down. But the memories. I remember vividly. So it's 2-2. But when we when TC blocked that kick, oh my God! I wish you can relive it. I wish people could be in that stadium.
Wow,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, insane. The watching it back is crazy.
It's like the World Series. It's like one of those things. You had to be there.
Yep. Unbelievable to watch that, and what a play to go down in the memory books. And honestly, possibly one of the biggest of this rivalry. But as we see the conference realignment and things change going into next year, we might not have this every single year. We have no idea what it's going to look like, and it's kind of a sad thing a little bit.
It's really sad because I think there's no loyalty from the players. The kids that grew up Alabama fans or Tennessee fans is. I'm slowly thinking college is really turning to the NFL.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Seems like everything is, because now we're seeing NIL trickle down to high school, and we can't talk that conversation. We'll be talking for another 30 minutes if we do that. So
side note, I just hope they don't bring it to Alabama, because once we see that,
bro, it's coming. What are you talking about? It's in Georgia, it's in Florida. So we either see it, or all these players are about to be hightailing their way to Louisiana or somewhere on the border. I hate it. But it's happening. And listen, you don't think that Nick Saban and Hugh Freeze and the big time coaches in this state, they don't want it, but they want it for their own benefit, because they know that these in-state guys are about to peace out of this state playing high school football if the money's not there. It's just happening. It's going to happen.
Let them go. Them the ones you don't want to go to war with. No way. If I got a kid,
it's different times. I agree with you, but it's different times, bro.
I know, and I hope you keep this on this segment.
I will.
I talked to a coach this past weekend at a major university.
Okay.
These kids are like when Coach Saban said you have kids that are asking for money to come on a visit.
On a visit, yeah, no, heard that.
What?
That's crazy.
You're not even good. You couldn't even be on the scouting team. Like, bro, you pull cheese,
dude,
and you asking for some money. Where they getting these kids from?
I heard it's like $5,000 a visit. I'm thinking, what?
No, real talk. I heard it to come on a visit. I'm like, bro, you couldn't even hold my jockstrap back in the day. Go give me some water if I slap you.
Seriously though, it's changing. It's trickled down, Mike. I mean, it's trickled down. We've seen it. Nick Saban tried to stop it. He raised holy heck, and he said that this year. He said, y'all knew that I was against this several years ago, especially when there was no regulations, as everyone jumped into it a couple years ago, and now we're here. It's a complete crap show.
It is. Lord, I miss a simpler time.
I know. It was simpler. All right. Well, Mike and I will start a podcast soon where we'll complain about more things in life, and we'll go from there. Well, I'll let you know what that is next week when we get that put out. But Mike, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Thanks for tuning into Head to Head. We'll see what this thing looks like on Saturday, the third Saturday in October. Tennessee, Alabama, possibly one of the last times when it comes to it being a regularly scheduled game. Guys, thanks for tuning in to Head to Head. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Brought to you by Alabama Beef Farmers and Ranchers.